Hi crafters, welcome to the Oak and Lamb YouTube channel. My name is Becca Oaks. I'm an owner and craft educator here at Oak and Lamb. Today I am going to teach you how to make some really cute keychains like this and this. I'm going to be using printable vinyl and sealing it with UV resin and showing you how easy it is to do this. When I first thought of this idea, I thought that maybe once I put the printable vinyl on my blank that I'm going to be using and then put the UV resin on it, it might bleed a little bit. So I was really particular about the printable vinyl that I used. I used the Zicoto printable vinyl that claims to be waterproof, and I also tested the OraGuard 236 glossy cover with the Oracal 1917 printable vinyl. We're going to be using both as well today so that you can see. I'm really impressed with how both of them turned out. For supplies today, I am going to be needing my inkjet printer because I am using printable vinyl. I'm also going to be needing something to protect my surface that I'll be crafting on because I don't want to get resin on my table. I'll be using a UV LED light. I also have a heat gun to pop the resin bubbles with that might occur. I have a glove to protect my hands. And then I am going to be using the J Diction UV resin. All of this will be linked for you below, so don't be freaking out trying to write down everything. You can check out the links and grab anything that we're using in this video today. And then I'm also going to be using some clear acrylic. This is Glowforge proof grade clear acrylic. If you have a laser cutter, this is a great project for that. However, if you don't have a laser cutter, you can still make this project. I also have some acrylic keychain blanks that are just circular, and they're about 1.5 inches wide. I got these from Hobby Lobby. You can get them in a lot of different places. So again, if you don't have a laser cutter, don't feel like you can't make these projects. You just have to change your shape or your design a little bit, and you can seal them in the exact same way. That should be all that we need other than your basic things like weeding tools and things like that. So let's jump over onto my computer and I'm going to show you how we're going to manipulate this file. I'm going to be taking a Oak and Lamb cut file and creating an offset, and we're going to be using that offset to manipulate a little bit and create the base of our keychain. I'm going to be using Illustrator. However, if you don't have Illustrator, you could use Inkscape, Silhouette Studio, or Affinity Designer. Whatever sort of graphic design software you like to use, you can use. I'm just going to be showing you the basics in Illustrator, and then you can apply those steps toward your design software. Now that we're in Illustrator, you can see the cut file that we're going to be using today. Again, this is an Oak and Lamb cut file, and if you are a member of Oak and Lamb, you can grab this off the website and use it. And since membership with Oak and Lamb does have a free commercial use license, then you can legally sell any keychains or products that you make using this cut file. This is an SVG, not a PNG, and it's easier to create an offset in Illustrator using SVGs. So that's why I've chosen the SVG format of the file. So first up, what I want to do is select the entire graphic here, and I can do that by dragging and dropping, or I can press Command A on my Mac and it selects everything on my artboard. Now what I want to do is group this together so that when I size it down, every layer sizes together. And I can do that by pressing Group right here under my quick actions or by pressing Command G. Now that that is grouped together, I'm going to size this to about 3 inches. I like a larger keychain. So with this still selected, I'm going to come up to the top right here and I'm going to select the 3 inches. Now, if your Illustrator version does not look like this, it may be because we have different workspaces. If you're using a current version of Illustrator, to select the current workspace that I'm using, you just come up here and press Switch Workspace, and then I use the Essentials workspace. Now you should be able to have all of the options exactly where I have them as well. Okay, now I want to duplicate this layer, and I'm just going to press Command C and Command V on my keyboard to duplicate or copy and paste. Now what I'm going to do, you don't have to do this step, but it just makes it a little bit easier when you're creating your offset. I want to select this entire graphic here, and then I want to come over here on my Pathfinder tool and click Unite. If you don't have your Pathfinder, let me press undo. If you don't have your Pathfinder tool right here on the right side or on your artboard at all, then you can come up to Windows and then select your Pathfinder tool here, and it will automatically pop it up there for you. Anyway, let's go back to this and we'll click Unite. And when I do that, I'm sort of welding this together. So the next thing I want to do, you can see there's little pieces right here. There are lots of different ways that you can get rid of those little cut marks, but I just press release and then unite it again, and it will get rid of that. Now what I want to do is come up to Object. See, this that I just welded or united together is still selected. I'm going to come up to Object, press Path and Offset Path. Now this you can play around a little bit with. You want it larger than your image because you want to be able to easily spread out your resin and not have any issues there. So just think about the size that you're going to have around your image. I like 0.15 inches for this. And then you can also choose if you want things to be, your joints to be rounded or mitered. It doesn't really make a difference here with this particular one. But generally I choose rounded. Sometimes you'll see with, if I had done it on this one with all the different little pieces, then some of the points would have been more squared or mitered. So now I'm going to press OK. And then I can delete that part. I don't need it. So I have this offset here. Let's change the color a little bit so that we can see what the difference is from the outline here when we put this on. So that's looking good. And then what I want to do is add a little spot where the key ring will go. So now I'm going to come over to the left-hand panel and grab my ellipse tool. And I'm just going to click anywhere on the artboard. And I like to make my key ring circles 0.5 inches, so ½ inch. So I'll press OK. And then I'm going to press Command C, Command V to copy and paste that circle that we just created. But now I want to change this to 1/4 inch, so 0.25 inches, just like that. And then let me change the color of this really quickly so you can see what I'm doing. Now with the two of these together, I'm going to select both of them and then use my Align menu to center this horizontally and vertically. Now with the two of those, I'm going to zoom in. Now with the two of those aligned, I'm going to come back to my Pathfinder tool and press click to minus front. And what that's going to do is sort of slice out that center circle from the back circle. Now I can move this down here on my keychain where I want it. And then I'm going to select it along with the offset, come back to the Pathfinder tool and press click to unite so that it will all weld together. Just like that. Now what I can do is move this over to the side and I can save this so that I can import it into Design Space for this, or I can use this to import into my laser cutter software to cut my acrylic out. Now I'm just going to place my acrylic right in my Glowforge and close the lid. And then we can go back over to the computer and make sure the file looks good for the software. Now over on the Glowforge software, and if you don't have a Glowforge, you'll just import your file that you just created into your software just like you normally would. And then I need to make sure this is sized correctly. It is not, so let me size it. And then I want to change it from engrave to cut. Move it over here, and then I'll duplicate this because I want to make two of these so that we can test out both of those printable vinyls. Now we're ready to click the Ready to Print button. Now that we're finished cutting that acrylic, over in Design Space we have our graphic and we just need to size it down to 3 inches, which is the size that will work perfectly with that offset we created. And since it's already a print and cut, we are ready to just go ahead and click Make It. So print out your printable vinyl and cut it out just like normal. I am going to be doing this on 2 separate pieces of printable vinyl, the Zakoto printable vinyl and the Oracal Origard combination. I do recommend, if you are going to be using this printable vinyl, then print out several stickers, several different designs, so that you're not wasting a sheet of material. Okay, now that we have everything cut out, let's go over. This is the Zakoto printable vinyl, and this is the Oracal Origard combination. And these are the cutouts. So let's go ahead and remove the masking tape here from this. And then we're going to apply the stickers to the acrylic. Now that that's finished, let's go ahead and grab our poster board so that we can protect our tabletop. And I'm going to grab a glove as well. Now we can go ahead and apply the UV resin to the keychain. Now you want to add quite a bit of resin. You kind of almost want it to look like it's about to pull over on the side. So don't be shy with it. You're going to need a lot, and then you're going to use your finger just to spread it out and make sure that it gets to those edges really nicely. Once you have good coverage, then you're going to take your heat gun and turn it on, and you don't want to put it too close, because if you put it too close, then it will spread your resin out. You just want to kind of leave it up high a little bit so that it will pop any small bubbles that you have. After you do that, if you notice any small areas that look like a reverse puddle, so sort of where it has settled and there may be a little spot, a little dot or something like that, that looks like there's not as much on it, you want it to look like a smooth domed look, then you can add a little bit more. And once you're happy with that, then you're going to add your light to it. I just use something like this to keep my light up so that I can keep working. Turn my light on, and then I'll do this one as well. And you can see here how it's sort of domed up. It's covered all the way to the edges, just like we want it. Once that looks really good, then we'll pop the bubbles in it and we'll cure it with the light as well. And here they are fully cured. They took about 4 to 5 minutes each under that light to cure. It's around 70 degrees in here, and so the temperature inside does affect sometimes how long it will take to cure, but it's really not that long. So I'm looking at these, and the only difference really, the inks did not smear. They both did wonderfully. The Zakoto printable vinyl is a little bit more vibrant, and so just off of looks with this, I would choose the Zakoto, and you don't have to use that extra film that goes on top. So that saves you a step as well. But I'm really, really impressed with using the UV resin as a sealer to make these keychains with the printable vinyls. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something new and are excited to try something new. If you like content like this, let us know. Let us know what other sorts of content you would like to see, what products or supplies you would like us to test out for you. We love doing that sort of thing. If you liked this file and you like the vibe of the channel, you would love our membership here at Oak and Lamb. Click the link below, find out what we're about, and join the amazing group of crafters here at Oak and Lamb who benefit from our entire library of cut files with free commercial use license, our member-only content, and access to our member-only group on Facebook. We love crafting here at Oak and Lamb, and we love to craft with you. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you here another day for another video.